want to show you what the kids put together and see what's going on. So I'm going to share my screen. And
Excited to
mind
see
you,
this.
we put this all together today because I wanted this to be 100% organic about today. So the kids wanted it to be about the camps and why they wanted to do this because they wanted to talk about each component of the camp as it exists in the design cycle. So this is today's work. Let me find my file. Uh, I hate this part. I'm always bad at it. Um, well, how do I do that? I guess I have to open the screen. Okay. Share. There we go. Do you see that? Nope, that's the wrong one.
Yes, it's good.
That's not the right one. This is the one. Sympathy was my last one. This one is the one that you can obviously tell we were working on it today. How to become a STEM hero. All right. So let me play this. Oh, come on. It won't let me play.
Yeah, it's in the middle at the top, I think.
There it goes. Play. All right. So this is how, when we built the MenTerns program, and I'll introduce the idea of the MenTerns here in a moment, we wanted to follow this model because this is how the kids wanted to play with other kids in the camps. So we set a schedule. We decided that 3 teams was optimal because normally we have between 3 and 12 to 15 kids, and those factor into 3 really well. We wanted to identify a problem because the model that the MenTerns use here at Mezzacello is one of beneficial destruction, which is basically finding something that needs fixing, breaking it, and then fixing it again to make it better. So beneficial destruction. Um, what the kids want to do differently this year is, after identifying a problem, they want to explore animal, vegetable, and instead of mineral, mechanics. So that was really interesting to them. So they'll be talking about that. Hands-on learning with play at the heart. Hands-on play, design challenges, and arts and craft. Because 2 of my MenTerns are artists, and I think everybody needs artists. And then finally, their ta-da. This is what we did. This is how we solved it, or this is how we failed graciously. And then share their solution to become a STEM hero. And STEM hero is what the MenTerns call each kid who's in their team when they present. You're a STEM hero now. And they gave little certificates last year, which I thought was really sweet. So this is one of the STEM hero camps. And the kid that is in blue in front and the kid that's in green in front are both MenTerns. So they were teaching. I was just there facilitating. And they had some rules. You have to bring your own lunch. You can't eat the animals. You have to wear shoes that can be waterproof, and you have to wear jeans because you don't know what you're getting into. And if it freaks you out that you're going to get chicken muck on your legs, don't wear shorts. Those are the MenTern rules. So, team animal, vegetable, mechanical. Each team has to be named after an animal, a vegetable, or a machine. And so this little guy in green there that you can't really see, that's Theo. And he was the leader of Team Frog. So when you identify a problem, there are 3 images here. One, we have Theo identifying a problem of using ultraviolet to see the way that insects fly through the garden. And he is explaining it to the parent of one of the summer camp kids about why we chose ultraviolet. And he's pointing towards Franklin Park Conservatory, where the bees come from. Because I don't have bees on my property because I can't afford the insurance. That's real life. This is Amaya, who's another MenTern, and her problem was we need to save money on feeding animals. So she used AI to determine every edible weed on my farm to turn into food. And then this is Noah, and he was a camper who took apart a Simon game from the 70s to understand how it worked to train animals to take treats by reprogramming the Arduino that would go into the Simon game and light up when animals chose the right thing, which I thought was interesting. It did not work, by the way, but it was a great idea. So when we explore this, we explore different ways of building systems for animals, building systems for gardens, and building systems with machines. So Theo is in the middle with a guinea pig, and we are testing pH for guinea pig feed. The kids in the middle are gathering edible weeds that they have identified using AI as edible so we can start processing them. And the kids on the right are figuring out what the process needs to be so that the slurry we put into the pelletizer isn't too wet or too dry. And that's a mechanical process for one problem on the camp. So we use this unique system of science, art, and mechanics. What do DNA and the periodic table have to do with what we're about to do? This is Juju, also one of my MenTerns, who created a design challenge that you have to create a portable ecology that goes in the pond so that birds, bees, and butterflies don't drown, but it has to be designed to float in water and it can't drown the insects or the birds. Also, it has to be completely sustainable and reusable in any aquatic environment. And then this is Maxwell in the back with the hat on, another MenTern, who created a design challenge on creating a water purifier based on the way that the liver purifies blood. So he taught that, and we created a device that purifies water using a 55-gallon barrel. So the ta-da is actually showing how these systems work in real time. So on the left, we have a student who learned how to basically 3D print and build an air pressure pump to run a nail gun. And on the right, we have the duck muck generator, which is purifying water from the duck water into fresh water out the blue nozzle in the bottom, based on how human livers work. And then they have to share that solution. So without further ado, this is the MenTerns.
Oh, and I'm a mentor here at Mezzacello Urban Farms.
We start that over.
Hi, I'm Theo, and I'm a mentor here at Mezzacello Urban Farms. So, what is a mentor? A mentor, the word means a mentor and an intern. A mentor helps someone learn and guide someone through the processes on what they do, on what to do. But they don't just tell them what to do. They need to learn and do it by themselves and need to do it by themselves with guidance. An intern help someone around a business establishment or even a nonprofit. Here, I help Jim with tasks around Mezzacello Urban Farms. I think that the most valuable lesson I've learned while teaching is that other people have different learning needs, and I need to learn and adapt to them. And I think the thing that I've learned most about myself is that I like to take charge, and I think that sometimes I just need to back up and let other people do the work.
Theo, why do you like teaching?
Well, I love that moment when I'm teaching a kid or a group of kids and all of them just understand it perfectly and it all comes together for them and their faces light up, and it's a moment that I'm always chasing.
My name is Oliver, and this is Mezzacello. I'm an intern for the summer of 2026. I like being a mentor because I can take care of the animals. I like feeding them and washing them, stuff like that makes me feel nice. I also like teaching the campers how to like take care of the animals properly. So like they know how to do it in the future. And I like making and teaching the design challenges, like things like the chicken coop door and the duck muck barrels in the chicken coop. Uh,
Favorite memory?
my favorite memory has to be like acclimating the animals like to each other, like getting used to each other.
Why do you love teaching?
I like teaching here at Mezzacello because I can teach people how to like properly take care of the animals, and like they can learn how to like grow up to uh like kind of like save the ecosystem in a way. And they can teach others how not to take care of animals, and like animals aren't just like things, they're like people too in a way, kind of.
Hello, my name is Finn, and this is Mezzacello Urban Farm. I'm training to become a mentor. The reasons why I want to be in Mezzacello as a mentor is I like being in nature. I like helping kids, and I also like being able to do things by myself without any help. Banana. Hello, I'm Finn.
And I'm Theo,
And welcome to Mezzacello Urban
Farms.
This is hilarious. All unscripted.
So right up here, we have the front gardens. These are mostly decorational, but they do provide plenty of open space. In the center, we have a fountain that birds can drink from.
There's that flower.
And an entrance to the pollinator pathway.
It's like we're trying to get people to buy a house.
So the pollinator pathway has plenty of flowers and plants that will be in bloom later in season, but pollinators love it, and it's usually a bee and bird hotspot. So over here we have the pond. In another video, I said that this was my favorite part of Mezzacello, and it definitely is. Over here is the biodome. The biodome is used for holding animals for temporary containment if we need to. We can also run experiments in here if needed. Over here is the Hornby Ballet. Over there is a little lab, and over there is some seating.
Hear that emoting though. He sings with another artist, another.
Oliver is filming. I'm nowhere. So I don't know what this looks like until now.
Over here is where we keep a lot of our tools and building materials that we can use to build basically whatever we like. That's what's awesome about engineering things. You have no limits. So over here, this is the mini biodome. We built this biodome to keep little baby chicks and as an experiment to see how to construct little things. Over here, we have the garden. This is what we use to grow most of our plants. Now, most of them aren't in season right now, but later in the year, this is blooming.
This is the animal part of the farm. In here is where we keep the rabbits. That is Drum. And these are the wild rabbits. And if you look behind us, there that is the chicken coop. We will slowly go into that now. This is the chicken coop. We have ducks in here too.
Okay, so follow me over here through the garden to go to our other two sheds. We keep the duck muck filter over here when we need some compost.
And we did that in a previous video if you want to watch that.
And in here are our engineering sheds. That shed's mostly used for storage, but this shed can be used for engineering in classrooms. Right now, it's a little bit messy, but it's also where we keep our 3D printers. And that's Mezzacello.
And that's my presentation. So, from the mouths of babes, right? They did 9 videos, Amy. They wanted to show everything. I'm like, dudes, I got 15 minutes. So Theo did 3, Finn did 2, Oliver did 3. I'm like, I'll shoot these videos, but we can't show them today because our presentation is only 15 minutes long. But that is what a MenTern is.
The video is worth, I mean, that just says it all. You could not, you have to do the video. The video you cannot do in a slideshow. I mean, that just tells it all right from the kids. And I love that it's unscripted and that they just, it was easy for them to talk about because they loved it. They experienced it and it was important to them. And it
they
showed.
own it, right? They own their learning.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Well, something else really cool about that video, small world, Oliver is my nephew.
No,
Uh-huh.
you're Oliver Huffer's. Oh my,
Yeah. His dad is my brother.
that is wild.
Is that
I have
crazy?
known Oliver since he was like 9. And he doesn't film well, but he's a genius. And I
Yeah.
love working with him. Oh my God.
Well, that's what surprised me when I watched Theo, though, when, he was so good at talking. Like, I know from working with a lot of, gifted kids, a lot of times, well, it just depends what their strength is. Some are just naturally fine with the camera and talking, and others, it's more behind the scenes, but it doesn't mean that they're not processing everything that,
No,
yeah.
Oliver's a genius thinker and the most empathetic veterinarian I have yet to meet. He thinks about animals like Disney thinks about animals, but also as a scientist. So he loves them and he wants the best for them. And he is my chief animal and livestock mentor. All other MenTerns study under Oliver because with Oliver, I don't need him to be polished. I need him to be unique. And his skill set is so unique. I have worked with him for 5 years now and I
Wow.
love it every year. And this year, he's going to be a high school intern. So he will be working for me this summer as an intern for high school for Ohio Means Jobs credits.
That's wonderful. And amazing, that you have the kids that obviously come back year after year because it means so much to them. I could tell when he said the part about in his last sentence, something about animals, and he had trouble trying to
Yeah.
get the words to say how important they were. And then he said they're like people.
He is very emotional. But I also love that about him because diversity is key on a farm. It's key. Chaos and diversity. And Oliver brings diversity in the way that he thinks about things. To me, when we're on one-on-one, the way he reframes problems in his language and the way he sees the world always makes me say, oh, and did you know he's also a gifted artist? He is
Mom is an artist too.
fantastic
Yeah.
artist. Well, yeah, Katie is too. I forgot about that. But he ran a design challenge last summer called Wanted, and it was about ecology. And children had to design wanted posters of either pests that they wanted or didn't want. Pests were called wanted pollinators. Insects that they didn't want were called pests, or pests. And plants that they did want were called feed, and plants that they didn't want were called weeds. And the wanted poster had to tell you in 5 seconds everything you needed to know about that organism. And he engineered all of the art for that. And they were delightful posters. I wrote a blog post about it. So I love the MenTerns. I wish they got more love. I wish I could do more, but I lost all my grants last year to Doge. So I ran the MenTerns program on my dime. And we're going to do it again this year because the kids are really excited about it. But I'm out of time. So
Yeah.
I
Well,
wanted to
thank you for what you've done.